Okay, so before I just go completely off the deep end, which I know I'm probably already there, let me just say some of the things that I liked about the book. I thought Gideon herself was okay at first. As the book went on, she really started to weigh on me. I liked her just sassiness and wittiness at the beginning, but after a while, it just it ran its course. I also liked Harrowhark. I thought she was a more compelling character than Gideon herself. She's the actual necromancer of the story, but she's all the characters I feel like are just okay at best. So first off, the whole book is just confusing for most of it. Like I said, this book is like 400 pages and the first 300 pages are they're confusing. Half the time I was like, who is that? Why are we here? What's going on? And it doesn't help that all of the different characters, they have their names, but then they also have their house numbers. So it would constantly flip by. It's like, oh, well, that guy's Larry. And then the next scene, it's like, oh, well, that's the 5th house. And they're like, who the frick is the 5th house? Oh, Larry? I thought Larry was the 7th house. Like, it's confusing. They constantly flip, and it'll be like mid-conversation. Bro, nothing interesting happens for the first freaking 300 pages. Like, I'm just confused, and the times I'm not confused, I'm just bored. How are you guys giving this 5 stars? Like, I get it. You guys, a lot of people are saying that the second half is better than the first half, but when the first half was so butt cheeks that, like, the bar's not high already, so the second half being better than the first half is not a very high bar for it to beat. Also, I don't think that any of the characters were really that compelling. Anytime somebody bit the dust and died, basically, I was kind of like Gru's mom from Despicable Me. I was like, like, was I supposed to care about any of these characters? Also, like, what is going on with the dialogue? Half the time, it sounds really cool and is, like, kind of archaic, if you want to say that, where Harrow is saying something and it just sounds so dang cool. And I kid you not, Gideon will show up and drop a "that's what she said" joke. Granted, it was funny for the first little bit, but after a while, I'm just like, oh my gosh, can you just shut up and be serious for like 5 freaking seconds? And then the ending. I will say it does get better, but there's times where I'm like, oh, when the action starts picking up, I'm like, oh, here it goes. This is where it's going to get interesting. But then freaking Gideon offs herself, and Harrow and some random chick spend like 50 pages trying to take down the big boss. And after a while, I'm like, dude, can either you kill the boss or they kill you, because this is taking way too long. We need to wrap this up. Honestly, guys, it's going to be a 1 star for me. I felt like this book completely wasted my time. I've never felt so freaking bamboozled by a book before. I can't understand how people are absolutely loving this. Like, I have finished it and I do see now that all of the dots are connecting, but at the same time, it's like, you took too long to get there, and it was just a confusing and honestly boring ride for most of the book. Like, I just can't. That's like watching a movie and like the last 5 minutes you're like, oh, cinema, that was perfect, but like for the entire movie was just be absolute garbage. I can't wrap my hand around it. Like, please get somebody explain it to me like I'm an idiot of why you guys love this book so much, because it has glowing reviews on Goodreads and I've seen lots of people talk about it, and this is probably one of the worst books I've ever read.